Most people think surviving in the wilderness is all about gear or brute strength, but that's dead wrong. Imagine being alone in a dense forest, night closing in, no map, no compass, every sound making your heart race. Most would panic, but frontiersmen thrived in this chaos. They had 7 tactical survival skills that turned danger into control. And one of these secrets is so powerful, missing it could cost you your life. Stick with me until the end, because you can start using these techniques today. These pioneers faced threats most of us only see in movies. Predators, storms, treacherous terrain, even other humans. What kept them alive wasn't luck. It was strategy, awareness, and instinct honed to perfection. Every skill had a purpose, a tactical edge that even modern soldiers would respect. And the last one? It is the kind of skill that can change everything if you ever find yourself truly tested in the wild. If you want to take it further, there is a secret resource I personally use to prepare for extreme situations. It's linked in the comments. By the end of this video, you won't just know these 7 survival skills, you'll understand how to apply them in real life, turning fear into clarity and chaos into control. So, stay with me, because missing even one could make all the difference. Frontiersmen weren't just explorers. They were the ultimate survival tacticians, thriving in lands that seemed almost designed to kill anyone unprepared. Dense forests, raging rivers, and wild animals weren't obstacles. They were tests, shaping every decision they made. Understanding their environment was non-negotiable. Every tree, rock, or shadow could provide shelter, food, or danger. These were lessons in observation and adaptation that modern soldiers and survivalists would pay to learn. And by the end of this section, you'll see why their knowledge is more relevant today than ever. Technology didn't protect them. Their tools were simple, yet every piece had a purpose. A knife, a flint, or even a rope could mean life or death. But what really set them apart was strategy. They studied patterns, tracked weather, and anticipated threats before they arrived. Think of it as nature's version of a battlefield briefing. Every step planned, every action deliberate. If you've ever felt unprepared outdoors, understanding their mindset will shift everything you thought you knew about survival. And here is the kicker. The skills that kept frontiersmen alive weren't just physical, they were tactical and mental. Observing animal tracks, reading clouds, or predicting river flows wasn't just clever. It was life-saving intelligence. Today, these same principles can give anyone a tactical advantage, whether in the wilderness or just being prepared for unexpected crisis. Stick with me, because the first survival skill we're about to uncover will change how you think about navigating the world entirely. You've already uncovered the first secret. Stick around, because the next skill will take your survival game to the next level. Frontiersmen had a remarkable ability to navigate vast, unforgiving wilderness without the modern gadgets we rely on today. They read the sun, the stars, and subtle signs in the landscape that most people would overlook. A bent tree branch, moss patterns, or the sound of a river could serve as guides. Imagine walking through a dense forest and knowing exactly which direction to go just by paying attention. This is the kind of skill that turns panic into confidence. Stick with me, because understanding this mindset is the first step to true survival mastery. One of their secrets was the sun itself tracking its position during the day to maintain direction. At night, stars became their compass, each constellation a landmark guiding them home. Even clouds and wind patterns could hint at weather changes or terrain shifts. For a modern adventurer, practicing these techniques on a simple hiking trail can build awareness and instinct. Start small. Pick a familiar path and try orienting yourself without GPS, noting how nature communicates subtle guidance. But the most powerful aspect of their navigation was adaptability. Frontiersmen didn't just follow signs. They interpreted them, improvising when obstacles appeared. Fallen trees, hidden ravines, or sudden storms demanded instant reassessment. a skill that's invaluable today in both wilderness and tactical situations. You can practice this by learning to read topography and anticipating changes before they happen, turning you into someone who moves with purpose instead of fear. And this awareness naturally leads to our next survival skill, where protection becomes just as critical as direction. Now that you've seen how they navigate the wild, it's time to learn the skill that keeps them warm, fed, and safe at night. Frontiersmen knew that the right shelter could mean the difference between a restless night and a deadly one. They could transform branches, leaves, and even snow into structures that protected them from rain, wind, and predators. It wasn't just about staying dry. It was about creating a strategic position that offered safety and observation. Think of it like setting up a temporary command post in the wilderness. Learning how to quickly build a shelter gives you control and peace of mind, even in unexpected situations. The designs were simple yet brilliant. Lean-tos, debris huts, and snow caves, each tailored to the environment and available materials. Modern military survival training mirrors these principles, teaching soldiers to combine speed with effectiveness. For a practical start, try building a small lean-to using sticks and leaves in your backyard or a nearby forest, paying attention to wind direction and ground elevation. These exercises teach resourcefulness and preparation, skills that go far beyond survival. They shape mindset. What really set these shelters apart was camouflage and adaptability. Frontiersmen didn't want to be found by enemies or wild animals, so they used natural surroundings to blend in seamlessly. This same principle applies today. Knowing how to use your environment to your advantage can make all the difference in tactical or emergency scenarios. And once you've mastered the art of building shelter, you'll be ready to tackle the next skill, mastering fire, the element that brings warmth, protection, and sustenance. You've learned to stay on track. Now get ready for the skill that transforms the wild into your advantage. Frontiersmen understood that fire was more than warmth, it was survival itself. From cooking meals to signaling for help, a well-controlled fire could save lives in ways nothing else could. They mastered methods that didn't rely on matches, using flint, friction, or dry tinder to spark life into cold, dark nights. Imagine holding that first ember, knowing it could mean safety, nourishment, or a safe night's rest. Practicing these methods today teaches patience, focus, and respect for nature's power. One of their most ingenious techniques involved friction, rubbing sticks in precise ways to generate heat and spark. Combined with flint stones, these methods created reliable fire sources, even in wet or windy conditions. For modern survivalists, experimenting with flint and steel kits or bow drills in controlled settings builds both confidence and skill. Start with small fires, understand airflow and fuel types, and gradually challenge yourself to ignite fire under different conditions. It's a skill that rewards practice and persistence, just like any tactical training. Beyond survival, fire was central to community and strategy. Cooking, warmth, and signaling all depended on controlling this element, and frontiersmen knew exactly how to maintain it efficiently. Today, understanding fire management can mean the difference between comfort and crisis in outdoor adventures or emergency scenarios. Once you've got this skill down, you're ready to move on to the next frontier, sourcing food through tracking and hunting, a skill that blends patience with tactical awareness. You've mastered finding your way. Now discover the skill that lets you defend yourself when danger strikes. Frontiersmen were masters of reading the land, understanding that every footprint, broken branch, or disturbed leaf could tell a story. Tracking animals wasn't just about hunting. It was about interpreting patterns, predicting movement, and making strategic decisions. Imagine walking silently, noticing the subtle signs most people overlook, and knowing exactly where your next meal or danger might come from. Practicing these observation skills today enhances patience and situational awareness, essential for both survival and tactical readiness. Hunting and foraging required more than skill. It demanded patience, timing, and respect for nature. From setting simple traps to using natural baits, frontiersmen maximized resources without overexertion. For a practical exercise, try identifying local wildlife tracks or practicing small-scale trap setups in a safe, controlled environment. It's not just about food. It's about honing intuition, planning, and the ability to anticipate outcomes before they happen. The tactical advantage came from blending strategy with adaptability. If prey changed paths or weather shifted, the frontiersmen adjusted, thinking several steps ahead. Modern survivalists can apply the same principles when planning hikes, scouting terrain, or preparing for emergencies. And as you sharpen these tracking skills, you'll naturally progress to the next crucial survival component: defending yourself and others when threats arise in unpredictable environments. Frontiersmen didn't just survive. They defended themselves with precision and strategy. Facing predators or hostile encounters, they relied on situational awareness, positioning, and quick decision-making. Imagine stepping into the wild, knowing that every shadow could conceal danger, and your instincts, combined with practiced techniques, could mean life or death. Developing this mindset today trains your reflexes and sharpens your perception in any high-stakes situation. Weapons were tools, not crutches. A well-handled knife or a simple spear became extensions of their tactical thinking. They understood timing, leverage, and how to anticipate attacks rather than react blindly. For modern learners, drills and reflexes, controlled movements, or even situational awareness exercises can mirror these principles. The key is preparation, being ready before danger appears, not scrambling after it. What truly gave them an edge was strategy, choosing when to engage, when to retreat, and how to use terrain to their advantage. This wasn't brute force, it was applied intelligence. Today, these same lessons apply beyond combat, knowing your environment, evaluating risks, and acting with calculated confidence. And once you've internalized these defensive strategies, you'll be ready to tackle another survival essential: securing water and resources for endurance in the wild. Frontiersmen knew that water wasn't just a drink, it was survival. Contaminated water could end a journey as quickly as a predator, so they developed techniques to purify and preserve it in any environment. From boiling in metal or clay containers to using natural filtration methods, they assured a safe, reliable supply. For modern adventurers, learning to filter or purify water can be as simple as using a portable filter or creating a DIY sand charcoal filter. Understanding these methods gives you confidence to tackle any outdoor challenge. Food preservation was equally critical. Without refrigeration, frontiersmen relied on drying, smoking, and storing food strategically to maintain energy and avoid spoilage. This wasn't just survival, it was tactical planning for long journeys and uncertain conditions. Today, you can practice by dehydrating your own supplies or organizing a small emergency pantry. It's about anticipating scarcity and making the most of every resource, a mindset that transfers to both wilderness and urban preparedness. The true mastery came from combining water and food strategies with observation and foresight. Knowing where to find a clean stream, when to move, and how to store resources make resilience and endurance. For modern survivalists, it's not just about staying alive, it's about optimizing energy and readiness for the unexpected. And as you become adept at securing these essentials, you'll naturally advance to the final frontier: mental resilience and decision-making under pressure. Frontiersmen understood that survival wasn't just physical, it was mental. Fear, uncertainty, and fatigue were constant companions, and mastering one's mind was often more crucial than mastering any tool. Imagine standing in a stormy forest, unsure of your next move, and realizing that calm, calculated decisions could mean life or death. Practicing mental resilience today, through controlled stress exercises or mindfulness, trains the same focus and discipline. It's about learning to stay composed when everything around you feels chaotic. Decision-making under pressure was a daily necessity. From choosing when to hunt, when to move camp, or how to respond to a sudden threat, each choice carried consequences. Frontiersmen honed this skill through experience, observation, and reflection, anticipating challenges before they arrived. Modern survivalists can emulate this by simulating emergencies, evaluating options quickly, and practicing contingency planning. It's not just preparation, it's developing the instinct to act decisively when the moment demands it. The ultimate advantage came from combining knowledge, skill, and mental fortitude. Those who mastered themselves were able to see patterns, avoid unnecessary risks, and exploit opportunities others missed. For anyone today, strengthening mental resilience enhances not only survival skills, but everyday decision-making under stress. And with this mindset in place, you're ready to integrate all these skills into a cohesive survival strategy, bringing us naturally to the final part, tying it all together with practical application and readiness. Now that you've explored the 7 tactical survival skills of frontiersmen, it's time to see how they all connect. Each skill, from navigation and shelter building to fire mastery, tracking, defense, resource management, and mental resilience, forms a complete survival system. Mastering these techniques gives you not just knowledge, but confidence to handle extreme situations with calm and strategy. Think of it as assembling the ultimate toolkit for life itself, ready whenever challenges arise. The real power comes when you start applying what you've learned. Practice navigating without gadgets, build simple shelters, manage fire, track your surroundings, defend yourself strategically, secure water and food, and strengthen your mind. Even small steps daily make a massive difference. The question is, will you take that first step today, or let this knowledge sit idle? Remember, preparation transforms fear into action, and action transforms survival into mastery. If you want to dive even deeper, there's a guide I use to prepare for every scenario. It's linked in the comments. Applying these strategies consistently can turn knowledge into instinct and instinct into life-saving action. So hit that subscribe button, activate notifications, and commit to becoming someone who's ready for anything. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins now, and the wilderness, real or metaphorical, is waiting to test you. So now you've seen the 7 tactical survival skills that kept frontiersmen alive against all odds. The real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it fade like just another video you watched, or will you start training yourself, even in small ways, to be ready for whatever comes? Imagine how different you'd feel knowing you could find your way without a map, build shelter in minutes, or stay calm when others panic. That's the edge these men had, and it's the edge you can claim today. Think about it. If frontiersmen mastered survival with fewer resources than we have now, what excuse do we have for not being prepared? The truth is, danger doesn't schedule itself. It comes when you least expect it. Will you be the one scrambling in fear, or the one guiding others with confidence? Start applying at least one of these skills this week. Test your navigation, practice fire starting, or set up a simple emergency kit. Every step you take sharpens your resilience. And if you're serious about leveling up, don't forget to grab the resource I've linked in the comments. It's the same tool I rely on for my own preparedness. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson like this. Because the wilderness isn't just out there, it's life itself. And when it tests you, you'll want these skills ready at your fingertips. Are you prepared to rise to the challenge?